with Adrian Biddle, Melissa Bartlett, and you will, Carrie Bigsby. It's your show, so tell us what you want to talk about. It's that The Round Table Podcast Show.
In the immortal words of the pastor, welcome. I've always wanted to do that. It is truly a beautiful day in the neighborhood, even though it's raining outside in many of the cities and such. We have a little sunshine right here in the midst, and it's called the After Round Table Podcast Show. I get to hang out with some amazing folk each and every time. I always look forward to Wednesday for my brother and sister come on here, and it just fills my heart full of joy. And without further ado, I have to introduce the one that keeps everything in line and always jumps on Adrian for the least little thing. It is Melissa, Miss Pitbull Bartlett. What's going on,
Hello, family. Welcome to our guests. Hello, my brothers. It is a Wednesday, and I always say it is the middle of the week, and it is my jump start to get me through the rest of it. I'm so excited to be here, get to have the show. We have such a wonderful bundle of positivity and experience for you guys tonight. And I'm just happy that it's Wednesday and happy that I get to do the podcast. So, hey, Money. Hi, A Money. How you doing? Y'all, I'm gonna take it and throw it on over to my brother A Money. How you doing, A Money?
Hey, I'm doing good. I hope you all are as well. I'm digging our soon to be introduced guests as well this evening. All is well on my end, and I hate to be late with this, but better late than never. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And I don't know if Miss Amber Starr Robertson is online with us right now, but we've been sitting on this for about a week. Miss Starr had Miss Robertson took out the time to update our main logo. And let me tell you, it is dope.
It is.
So that's why we love our family. Miss Robertson, we appreciate you taking the initiative to do that. We're going to implement it. It's already been shown on some media platforms up to this date. So again, we thank you and thank you for your continued support as well. And now the man to my left, my right on this screen, the man that stirs the drink, Mr. Kosher himself, CD.
All right, family. Thank you once again for joining us on At the Round Table Podcast Show. It's the People's Podcast. And I can't wait for this one right here. I've been doing my homework, but I'm not going to introduce him because A Money has that voice that brings it in. You know, it's kind of like that old soulful. So I wouldn't do it justice at all. But this is going to be an amazing show. I can see it. I can feel it. So A Money, do your magic.
Well, coming to the stage right now. She's a writer.
No. I don't think that's the.
That ain't gonna work. That's not working.
What got me was he said, "Well."
I
was about to go in my back pocket. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right.
I digress. Go ahead.
It's all good. Yeah. Well, this young lady does it all. She's a writer, an actor, producer, entrepreneur. Tonight we're being joined by the phenomenal Ylonda Powell Medley. Welcome to the show, Miss Medley.
Welcome.
Thank you. Awesome intro.
See, I told you.
Like Melissa was saying, I practice in the mirror.
Baby, that was
We all do. I do too. I get the facial expressions right and all that stuff. Yep, I practice too.
Well, go ahead, Mel. Go ahead and get this thing started.
Okay, well, it is so great to have another queen in the house because I'm always saddled with these two guys right here all the time. So,
You made that sound bad.
For real.
no, 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 not bad at all. No, no, not me. But it is always great, no, honestly, to have, um, a queen here,
Mhm.
Black Power,
Thank you.
Black Girl Magic, um, and someone that is handling the business and doing what they do in a manner that you can look to for inspiration and admiration of what and how you're carrying yourself, being in the different roles, having the different hats. And this is a man's world. No matter what we do, and no matter whatever ways we try to make and paths we dig out for ourselves, to be successful in it. So really, if you don't mind, Yolanda, just kind of touch on your trials, kind of like your, not so much trials, but your path, like how you got started. I also did my homework, and I was so impressed. And you were across the stage with one of the hardest black working men in Hollywood, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
And so, just started from there. What kept you inspired? What kept you growing to say, hey, there's a place for me there. Hey, there's something I can do there. What was your inspiration to keep you going and be so successful so far?
Well, I have to say, God, when there's a calling on your life, He will keep putting things in front of you and in your heart and in your spirit, and even in your mind to keep going. Acting was something I wanted to do since I was a little girl. I was inspired by the movie Annie back in the 80s. And my mom put me in Betsy Ross, which was an art school, middle school. That was my first school where I learned acting and dance. And I just had a passion to want to like go out and audition. So the way I got the part for piano lessons, it was from the middle school. They had auditions for students there, and I got that role. And then from there, I went to a art school, 2 art schools in high school. One of them I concentrated in acting. So I always was around acting. I did a lot of community plays back in Connecticut, where I was born and raised. And so then I moved on to New York City. I got professional headshots and just kept going from there. So that's pretty much how I got started in the business.
And after getting started in the business, because you definitely, I mean, with the resume, you didn't stay at saying, I'm just going to be an actress. I'm going to just be in these roles, and I'm just going to look for the next role, and I'm just going to do this. You then branched out to do other things. So then what was that inspiration to do that?
Well, my mom, when I was younger, all I ever wanted to do was be an actress. I just wanted to be in front of the camera, on the stage, never thought about being a director or anything like that. And my mom told me at like 17 that she had a dream that I was producing and directing and writing. So I was like, yeah, okay, it's a nice dream, but I wanted to do acting. So, which brings up me going to Prayer Tabernacle under the leadership of the late Bishop Moles. When I was there, I was a young girl, I was a teenager, and he, asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, I'm into acting. And first his wife came to me. A little while later was like, we need a skit for an event she was doing. And I was like, I don't write. Like, what's she coming to me, asking me to write for? I don't write. But of course, I didn't want to tell the first lady no. So I went and wrote like a 5-page skit. And I was like, that's all I got. So we did that little 5-page skit, and the audience, the church loved it. And then a few months later, Bishop Moles came to me and said, I have an idea for Christmas play. Can you write it? And I'm like, bro, I'm saying about that, bro. Like my daughter said, bro, I don't write. Like, I'm an actress. So, of course, I wasn't going to tell the bishop no. So I sat the little honey pot down and I wrote I think that one was a 20-page play. I was like, okay, I'm moving up. 20 pages, went from 5 to 20. We did that. And I added music in there. I added dancing in there. I just took so much of my background and put it in there. And when I tell you, people talked about that for years. They talked about that play for years. Then from there, I just started writing and producing it throughout the church. And then, and the reason why I started my own company was because when I was in New York, you know, my life, my relationship with Christ is the most important thing to me. So when I was going to New York and auditioning, it was a lot of roles that I just didn't feel comfortable doing. It was either a lot of profanity or some nudity, and I just didn't, or it was kind of like negative. I was like, I don't want to play these type of roles. So I remember one person said to me, a few people actually said to me in New York, you got to put that Christian stuff aside and make that money. And I was like, that don't sound right. So that's when I started my own company, Jesonda Productions, in 2000, I think 2001. And yeah, and so from there, I just started producing my own stuff, and then my play stuff came about.
I like that. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how, and you probably know more so than anything, sis, how it seems like it's mainstream right now that you have to, as Mel put it eloquently, compromise your integrity or sell out, or, you know, just, I don't know, take a lower road in order to really be a quote unquote famous artist or whatever sort. So I'm glad you mentioned that. How did the name for your production company come about?
Aha. Yes. Not too many people ask me that, but when they ask me and I give them the answer, they're like, oh my goodness. So I remember I was sitting there. First, my company was called JC Productions, which was from Jesus Christ Productions. But as I started, you know, going online and having to register this and register that, it was too many people with the name JC this. And so I'm sitting down one day and I'm with a piece of paper and I'm, you know, trying to figure out names and trying to. So Jesus, JES is for Jesus, and ONDA is for my name, Ylonda. So that's how I came up with the name Jesonda Productions.
Okay. That's pretty creative right there. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how it came about. And when I first told my mom, and at the time I had a friend, they were like, what kind of name is that? Like, okay, it's interesting, but where did you get that from? And then when I told them, they were like, oh wow, that's really nice. So everybody that asked me that, they had the same reaction.
Yeah, because it sticks with you. So I mean that's
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ylonda, now you just got through over the last 5 minutes exposing a whole lot of information.
Okay.
I want to go back to the crust of the beginning, because where you began at is important to where you're at right now.
Yes.
So you mentioned early on that you found that acting bug after watching Annie. What was it in the movie that just, you know, that was that aha moment that you realized that this is what I want to do as a profession?
You know what? I really don't know what the aha moment was. I just knew that I love dancing. To this day, I love Annie. I mean, I love the new one that they had, and I love the old one. I just love the energy in the movie. You know, the little girl was maybe a little older than me. I think I was 8. It was just the kid, you know, and I just looked at my mom and I looked at her in the movie theater. I was like, I can do that, you know, and I believe that when you're a child, this is why it's so important that you watch your kids when they're younger to see what they are actually into. And with me, when I was like 6 or 7 years old, I remember running around the house. I would put a towel on my head with a headband in my mom's heels and run around the house like I was a Hollywood actress. So you know what? My mom she just saw that gift, and she just put it. She just started, investing and putting me in programs that will help me. So, but I don't remember the aha moment. I just know that I saw that movie and I was like, I can do that, and I just been doing it.
Oh, that's all right.
And you went into one of my questions for you, Ylonda, is because it's so important. We're all parents on the show and have adult children, and you indulge in your children, whatever they show interest in.
Yes.
But you always know that one thing that is like, this is more than I'm trying it out. This is that thing that makes them. I don't have to tell them to get up. I don't have to tell them to prepare for it. I don't have to fuss to make sure they got their stuff together for what they need. Like there's always that one thing that your kid is a part of to say, yes, this is really what I want to do. And so I was going to ask, with your mom, you speak of her quite often in your journey, you know, what were some of the things that your mom did and said that made you feel like, hey, I can do this. Like, I know this is really it. Like you, because there's a different energy between a mother and a daughter when your mom gets invested as well.
Yeah, so I will go back to one thing you said. My mom, I remember when I was doing piano lessons, I was in 6th grade, and this is the first time this is the first time this ever happened to me, but she said, if you want to stay in that play, you better get those grades up and this and that. This is the first time I got honors that year. I said, the devil is a lie. I am not getting off that play. So I had honors that year. But to answer your question, my mom, you know, she just saw something in me that probably I didn't see in myself. Like, you know, with your kid, I have 2 small children, 9 and 11. And one of them she's been dancing since she was in diapers. And so now, you know, I put her in dance and I use it as a leverage. My mom used acting as a leverage, as, you know, to get me to, you know, because I knew that's what I wanted to do. And she knew that's what I wanted to do. So that was one thing that she did. She said, you better get them grades up or I'm pulling you off that play. And I got honors.
So what are some of your favorite, again, the resume is so phenomenal. And I thank you for sharing your pictures of some of the people that you met and had an opportunity to work side by side. So without disclosing too much of some personal things, what is one of the favorite moments that you've shared with one of the actors or actors that we are all knowing very well and we love as well as much as you? What is one of your favorite moments?
Well, I would share a moment that I had when I was in piano lessons. And you know, Samuel Jackson, I was 11 when I did that play. He was the nicest guy. I don't remember anything like, you know, I don't have anything negative to say about him. I mean, I would stick my head in his dressing room and he'll say hi, you know, and it was and so those moments when we would recite lines, because Rocky Carroll also was in piano lessons, the one that played on Rock,
right,
and the father. So me and another girl named Shanae, she was the alternate of Marika, my character. And we would be in there reciting Sam's lines and Rocky's lines, and they'll stick their head in and say, yeah, we hear you in here. You know, they were just so friendly and so nice. And this is what really, really got me about Samuel Jackson. I remember being in New York. This was about maybe 25 years later. Maybe not that long. Maybe about 20 years later. I was in New York auditioning, and he was in the middle of shooting the movie Shaft. I didn't know. I had got lost for the audition. So, of course, there was payphones out at that point. So I'm at the payphone trying to call the agent. Look, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. And so I hear somebody say, hey, Mr. Jackson. Oh, my God, Mr. Jackson. Right? I slammed the phone down thinking they told about Michael Jackson because I was a big fan of Michael Jackson. So I turn around and Samuel Jackson's walking down the street. So I was like, hey, do you remember me? He was like, you look so familiar. And I was like, I played with Rita in piano lessons. He was like, oh my goodness, I knew you looked familiar. You done grew up. I said, yes. So he had that, you know, he had a brief conversation with me then, but just to, you know, he was like, I gotta go. I gotta get in here for this next scene. They need me in there. He said, it was nice seeing you. I mean, just the point that he stopped and just chatted in the middle of a scene. So those are some of my favorite memorable moments of Samuel Jackson. But I have others with other people. But yeah, with him, I have nothing bad to say. He's always been nice.
I can imagine. I'm probably kind of like a stalker. He's like one of the people who I'll tell my family there's certain people I'm like, that's my uncle. He's coming to the cookout. Or that's my auntie. She's coming to the cook. Like, he's one of those people where you be like, I really want to keep you in my life forever. Please, can we stay friends? Like,
yes.
Sure, right? She's a weirdo. Get her out of here.
Shouts out to Renee Crooms for joining us on the Roundtable Podcast Show. She's the very nice.
Renee.
What's going on, sis? Thank you for joining. Please share as we have this amazing young lady that is on here, the CEO of Jesonda Productions. And just to share with you guys, tomorrow is a very special day, but I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm gonna let her do the honors in regards to that. Let her do it. Let her do it. Let her say it. If that's okay. Who's up? Okay, there it is.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
Can you hear us now? All right.
We lost sound. I can hear you, Carrie.
Okay, cool.
But Ylonda can't hear us.
Okay, we're gonna check on that real quick. Let me look right here. Ylonda, if you can, please check your mic on the side right there, in the panel. Let's see.
She might have to maybe try logging out and logging back in. Okay, there she goes.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
But thank you for joining us, Renee. We appreciate it. We're gonna try to see if we can get this with her fixed and see what may be going on.
Looks like her signal might have went out.
Here we go.
Are you back?
Yes, I couldn't hear it. It was muffled, so I'm not sure what you were saying. I'm sorry.
He was getting ready to spill the beans, and we were like, no. You let Miss Ylonda says what she needs to say about tomorrow.
Okay.
So we were going to use that opportunity, whether you want to do it now, you want to do it towards the end.
It's totally up to you. I'm fine whatever way you want to do it.
That's why we say CD like to stir up the drink. See, he was jumping all in your business. I said,
See, it just ain't right, CD.
I'm just gonna go right,
man. After this show, we're gonna have a long talk.
Ylonda, I might be axed after this show.
No.
Let me go back and work the mics. I'm sorry. Don't mind me. But yeah, that's pretty cool that you have that type of relationship, long-standing relationship. That's very important in the industry that I think a lot of people need to know. I'm sure you can expound on as well, as far as, what you do now will speak volumes later on. Years later, you run into Samuel L. Jackson on the street, and he's chit-chatting with you. That's getting ready to do Shaft, Shut Your Mouth. Yeah, I mean, that says a lot about you as an individual. What has been other things that you've noticed in the industry? Because you've taken a path that is the least tread, it seems like, with many individuals. And I commend you for that, because we do the same thing. But what have you seen in the industry that really has reinforced you and you say, I made the right decision? I'm not going back full steam ahead.
To me, it's a level of integrity and character.
Okay.
I don't like phoniness, stabbing people in the back, because you want to get a role. Trying to throw people under the bus. I just don't get. I don't do well with that stuff. And so that's kind of like, maybe I'm like a lone ranger when it comes to the business. I do my stuff. I mean, I help other people when I can, but I don't like drama. And so, some of these ladies that I used to work with back in the day, I remember I went for an audition and the guy wanted, it was a nude part. It was partial nudity. And, the girls, I chose not to do it. I said, well, I don't feel comfortable doing it, but can I help behind the stage? You can give that role to somebody else. And he was like, it's a lead role and you're just going to turn it down. Yes, I'm going to turn it down, because what people don't understand is 20, 25 years later, that stuff is on video, and you trying to move on. I mean, most people think about it in the moment. They want it so bad that they'll do what they have to do in the moment. But I was thinking long term. I was like, I don't want 25 years from now somebody pulling the tape out, of me over here, and I'm trying to now do inspirational and spiritual, plays, and you pulling out this thing. You get what I'm saying? And not to knock people that do that because people change. But I think a lot of people that are in the business, they want it so bad that they don't think like long term. So that was one of the things that I'm glad that I kind of pulled away from. And that's why I kind of wanted to just start my own thing, because I knew that I could at that point I knew I can write quality plays, roles that will touch people's hearts and their minds, stimulate them to think, rather than do things that that's not going to help you in the long run, to a lot of profanity and things that don't really, that's going to feed your spirit. So I'm kind of glad that I moved away from all of that, and God just allowed me to start my own company and to actually write, produce, direct, and teach and coach. I do all of that. So I'm grateful for that move that I made.
Just so many things, so many things on that plate.
As Vinny likes to say, a plethora of talent.
Yes. There you go. There you go, Mel. And just to reset for those who may be joining us again, we have writer, actor, producer, entrepreneur, Ylonda Powell Medley joining us this evening. Ylonda, I wanted to touch on one of your other passions that I researched on. One of those particular passions that I came across was that you like to mime. Now, with that, the preparation process as far as acting and mime, what is the process that goes into mime? Because it seems like with mime, it's more expression of emotion. I may be wrong with that, but I want to hear your take on it.
Mine, I always say, if you can act, you probably can mime. It just depends. Miming, like you said, you don't use words. So everything has to come out through your face, through your body. You have to really, make sure that when you are portraying the words, you can't say them, but you have to portray them between facial expressions and body language. And when I used to teach mime to my kids in Connecticut, because I had a school there, it was a little bit different. I had to teach them, do this with your face. I had to actually have a dictionary at that time, because we didn't have like phones like we have now with all the apps and stuff. So I would have to literally make them look up words, and I would say, what does that word mean? Don't tell me, show me what it means. And that's how I would train people to mime. And I would say, okay, give me more of that. Give me more of that. Bigger than that, bigger. And they would just, they will express that word through their body. And so, yes, the only thing about it is more tedious, because of course you got to put the face mask on, not the mask. You got to put the face paint on, and you got to change into your costume and all that stuff. And, and it's a lot of energy, because I put a lot out when I mime. So sometimes it takes me about 15, 20 minutes just to get back my breath and because I put so much energy into it. I love it. I love it. I used to love it, because I'm a little older now, but I started that. You ask me now to mime, I'll be like, I asked my daughter to do it because she's good. I don't know if I'm doing it. I said, my time is up. I did 20 something years in mime. And actually mine, that little gift took me all over the country. I mean, California, Florida, Texas, all over the place. So I was thankful for that gift that God had given me. Well, still has. I plan on opening up a school, and I may bring mine back, because I don't see a lot of people doing it now. But
I think you should.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of it, and I'm sorry, Miss Ylonda. That's why they call me Miss Pitbull. Everybody can do it. Okay.
yes,
There's people who do it, and you will sit there and be like,
yeah.
So,
CD, no, she didn't.
Yes, lay away.
let me mind my expression.
Yes.
So,
oh no.
And it would be funny, because people back in the day, now most people that knew that I mimed, that knew what I did, somebody would come like maybe to the church and a guest mime or whatever, and they would, and all of a sudden you got people looking at me like, look, and I'm like, what are y'all looking at? Like, I just be looking straight ahead, like you ain't catching my face expression or nothing.
Listen, Ylonda, No. I would be that church member like, no, we're not doing that. But you know, when it was introduced to the church, just like anything, when you come from, I grew up in Pentecostal,
Mhm.
so you know there was a lot of tradition as we got older to realize versus gospel,
Mhm.
and there were a lot of rules that were man led versus God led.
Mhm.
So when it comes down to, you know, miming coming into the churches, it was like, what is this? We ain't never had to do that before. God don't need that. Until you see someone doing it and
Yeah.
the spirit falls on them. And when you're talking about how much you give and how much is taken out of you when you're doing it,
Mhm.
and then you start understanding when you're seeing somebody's hands and arms and legs that are moving and it literally looks like they're on strings, that you can say, you know what, that's not even them at this point, you know what I mean?
The anointing.
um yeah, so it's I've always been very interested in people who do that and that are good. Sorry, let me add that. And that are good.
Yes.
um because it takes so much out of you. There's twin brothers here in Pittsburgh that got into it, and um they went around local churches here. They even actually, did some type of tour, and
Mhm.
just to speak to them afterwards, they're drained like they played a basketball game,
Mhm.
a professional basketball game. So it definitely is nothing to be taken lightly in regards when you choose to express yourself that way. Um, so you say you're thinking about that's something that you won't get back into. What is something that is new for you on the horizon?
Well, what's new for me that I've never done before, and people have been asking, is fundamentals of playwriting workshop.
Mm.
So I would love to. I'm actually preparing to do a playwriting workshop to teach people how to structure their play. Like a lot of people may have an idea for a play, but may not know how to even start writing it. That's where they would come to the workshop. And we sign waivers or whatever, so no one will steal anybody's stuff or anybody's ideas. But that's something that's new that I'm doing. I'm really excited about it because so many people have ideas and so many people have messaged me over the years and asked me, well, how do you do this and how do you even produce? Like, where do you start? And I just love helping them because it's exciting because I love theater. I love theater.
Okay. Okay. And now it's going to be another question. Do you like theater or the screen best?
I've done both, but I have to be honest. I love theater. And the reason why I love theater is because I love the energy from the audience, especially when you have a lit audience, they talk back to you or or they laughing or they quiet, at certain moments. And, you hear them burst out and they just happy to be, I love that energy. And when you're on stage and you can thrive off of that, that makes the show even better. And I love theater because it just you have room, you don't have room for error, so it kind of makes you a better actor and actress because you have to, like, if somebody forgets a line, you gotta step in and, like, we gotta keep it going. So that's where your improv skills come in. Film is good. It's a little boring because you're sitting around a lot, and they got to set up the lights and you got to keep doing stuff over and over again. But theater is just like you just got to keep going with it. And that audience, if it's a lit audience, oh, I love that.
Shouts out to Tangy. Hey, Tangy.
Hey, Chance.
Hi,
Yeah,
Tangy.
so much knowledge. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to Amber Star Robinson for joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a legend. We hope that you were available earlier. We gave you a shout out. So
We
just in
did.
case you weren't, thank you from all of us again for that spectacular logo that you put together. We will be implementing that soon.
Yeah, thank you for your support as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she said, Tangy, that's my girl.
Aw.
So of course, here's me again and hopefully y'all can hear me. I've been having a little bit of microphone issues. Hopefully it's not too static and such, but I have to stir it once again. So, with you being a producer, a writer, you're a mother and such, how important has it been with your family as far as the support, the encouragement, the long nights in which you're working and grinding and such? How have they been very supportive and assist you on this journey?
I want to say that, when I first had my daughter, my oldest daughter is 11, right? I was a career woman. Like I was like a baby. I'm still trying to, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This girl sent me a text the other day, and she encouraged me. Like, I mean, she says her little things, but this particular text, she encouraged me so much. She said, "Mommy, you got this. You go out there, you kill it. You're gonna be big." And and they hear that. They are my driving force now. Like, they want to know, when are we doing Stuck again? Mommy, when are we going back to rehearsals and stuff like that? So they're extremely supportive. And my kids, they, I pack up a dinner and I'll take them to rehearsal with me, and they sit and, they might watch the rehearsal, or they might engage in their, device or whatever they're doing at that time. But never, ever have they ever said, "Mommy, you're doing that too much. Can you," they love it. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. And now they, once I get a bigger studio and office, I am going to set them up an office, because my youngest one, she wants to be my production assistant. She wants to be the stage manager. The other one, the older one, is more into the acting. She's more the performer. So, I write roles for her now. She's actually in the play Stuck, the DVD. So yeah, very supportive, extremely supportive family.
Well, let's talk about your baby, because you keep mentioning it. Let's delve into Stuck a little bit.
Okay.
Share with the audience the play itself and what it entails.
The play is about generational strongholds. And you see a family who is pretty much dealing with financial difficulty, dealing with a broken family, husband and wife, separated. The father has an alcoholic issue. The brother is a womanizer. He's a hustler, can't get a job or won't get a job. One of the sisters, she's trying to pursue a dream and just doesn't have the money to do it, trying to do all kinds of things to make this dream come alive. And, she keeps having these stumbling blocks. And so then there's depression, there's poverty and anger, and we touch a little bit on domestic abuse. So you see, that family going through so many different things. And then years later, these kids are all grown up with kids, and they're all still going through the same thing. So it's a cycle that goes from one generation to the next. And a lot of people ask me, like, what made you write a play like that? And I'm like, because I was stuck. You know what I mean? A lot of times when you are an artist, whether you're a singer or a rapper, you rap about your experiences. You write about your surroundings and what's going on. So I just seen my community stuck, some of my family members, and you go to church and people praising God and shouting all over the place. They stuck. You know what I mean? So that's why I wrote this play, and it's a powerful play, and it's been blessing people since 2010 when I first debuted it with standing room only.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we got a question.
Okay.
So Amber just asked, I'm curious to know if Ylonda has ever implemented anything she's learned from a character role in walking life. Can you repeat that one more time? She said, I'm curious to know if Ylonda has ever implemented anything she's learned from a character role in her life.
Yes. So I can say from Stuck, the lady I described, Carlene, that has a dream, but it's like she can taste it, she can see it, she can smell it, but she just can't put her hands on it. That's one of the characters that I can relate to the most. Simply because I am a dreamer, and like, if I had enough time, I would tell you some of my journey. of going to New York and thinking California, thinking I was going to stay there, had to come back a week later, having 6 studios and had to close them all down over years and time. But I kept going. And so that's one of the things that I kind of took from that character, and I kind of implemented some of my life into that character as well.
I think that's interesting, and that's the transparency that our audience loves, is that, hey, who hasn't said I'm going to California or I'm going to New York? And sometimes it will eat you up,
Yes.
and you have to be, I think, self-sufficient and self-prioritized enough to say, hey, I can't lose myself to this here. I need to come back. I need to go back. Sometimes you got to kind of go back to home base, plug in so you can kind of get what you need. Have successful, you said 6 studios, and you to say, hey, I'm moving another direction. And then you have people going, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? What's doing that? Or you have those other people that's like, I knew she wasn't gonna be able to do it. You have all this noise, but you have to say, hey, no, I'm changing because I'm on a different path. I have another direction that I need to go, and that can't go, with me. So it's very glad that you was transparent with that to say, things are gonna come and go, but you have to keep going. You have
You
to
got
be
to keep
determined.
going. Yeah, and I always say, and I said this to somebody maybe last week or so, when you say to God, Lord, use me, let your will be done in my life, yet you have your own will and you're trying to do your own thing, those plans are going to clash, and God is going to have his way. So it was frustrating me that I was saying these things, Lord, use me. Yeah, I want to be used by you and have your way and whatever, And then over here, I'm trying to be this big movie star, trying to do what I need, what I want to do. So eventually he was rerouting me, and I just didn't understand what was going on. So that kind of brought me into, like, I don't want to say depression, but, maybe almost close to, because I was like, what is going on? I would meet people in the industry and I'd be this close, and then all of a sudden they passed away, and that really happened. Like, I literally met a good contact that I was like, okay, finally I met you, you got my letters, you answering me now. Then a month later, he was killed in a car accident. That kind of stuff that is devastating, because I was like, God, what's going on? So I believe that he's watching out for my soul. My soul is more important than any of these things that I'm doing out here. And also, I'm on an assignment. And when you're on an assignment, it's not that easy for you to just let it go. Even though I did go through the things that I went through, and I opened up studios, and, and I just had the passion to do what I wanted to do, but I had to learn some stuff as well. You know what I mean? And so, but when you're on an assignment and God has a calling on your life, He's going to make sure you get it. He's going to say, okay, you in the corner crying now. All right, I'll let you cry for a minute. When you finish crying, you're going to get up and you're going to keep going. And that's has been my journey. And I want to say, I don't want to make it sound like, it was but it's been a good journey. Like, God has really blessed me and gave me favor along the way. But I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that he loves me enough to reroute me. Because my soul is more important than to compromise.
Say that again.
And to
Say that
get
again.
involved with things that are not his will.
Yeah, say that part again, Miss Ylonda. He loves me so much to reroute me. We always have a guest that gives us a quote. We're gonna start, like, just tagging them and putting them up, because that right there is something that people don't understand when they question your walk or your faith or your beliefs. That is the thing that keeps you from going under. The fact that you have the confidence and knowing that it may seem like you're in that dark, headed towards that just pitch black abyss, but God loves you enough to reroute you. And just when you think you're at that point where you're like, either like, I'm gonna just give up because I just don't know. boom, he starts turning you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's drastic. That's how he is with me a lot of times. He gets I got to get a not jerk to her.
Yeah, I
And
know,
then
right? Me too.
and sometimes it's it's a gradual turn, but um that is what keeps you in that next one, and then you can have those stories and those testimonies because people want to hear the good, but they need to hear the truth, you know.
Yes. And I'm not ashamed to tell, because like I said, God has been good to me. And even though, and I realized that God had a distinct plan for my life, because I met some really good people that can say, listen, we can do this and we can put this star in your play. And I talked to some of these people. I talked to some of these people over the phone from other promoters. And God just was like, that's not the route I want to take this play. This play is about ministry. It's not about glitz and glam and how much you're gonna, charge for a ticket. You know what I mean? And so I had to be careful of that. And I have to understand that what God has me writing, is different. It's a different feel. So I'm okay with that. Before I wasn't okay, because like I said, I wanted to be out there. But I'm okay with that now, because if my Father's pleased, then I'm pleased. And that's where I am with it now. So grateful.
Amen.
Amen.
Charlie Twos, thank you for joining us. Our sister, what's going on?
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie. Oh, we just got a message of her. I don't know if you saw this. Amber Starr said if Ylonda needs music for anything, I know of a music producer that offers his music free, 100% serious. The words about faith is enough to offer anything we can to her.
Oh, absolutely. I would love that. Yes, definitely. We're gonna need some music. I have some few projects that I'm working on, some new scripts, and also some scripts that I already have, that I would like to kind of rearrange the music. So that would be a lovely thing if I could talk to her about that.
Go ahead on, Amber. I know you're so
Amber,
multifaceted over there. Just got connects and abilities
Amber,
of all
you
things.
are you are gonna have so much favor.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know what happened, guys. You're gonna have so much favor because of what you're doing and what you're giving. Just know that the seeds that you are sowing, you are going to reap. I'm telling you
Amen.
now.
Amen. That's awesome. Well, God bless you, Amber. Yes, I second that.
So Amber, I'm sending you that information on Ylonda right now so you two can connect. We are not going to get in the way of this good work that is about to happen between the two of you guys. And I kind of know what she's alluding to. So shouts out to you, Amber, regarding that.
All right. Okay.
Oh, she said, God put me here today. Pass her info on Carrie. Thank you. Will do.
Awesome.
Like it. See, and that's what it's supposed to be. I gotta throw this out here, family, to everybody, our guests and such. Why is it so hard for us to do something positive and do good work, and not worried about the glitz and the glamour so much, and the boatload of money or whatever? So, but just know that you're trying to do something good, and hopefully it'll teach each and every person. I mean, why is it so hard? I'm sure you can answer that, Ylonda. I'm sure you can, because you've been in the industry, so you can probably. Can I say the word? Pontificate.
Oh, there you go.
That's a big word for today.
There you go.
Yes, I got one for you. But yeah.
Yeah, I think once you know and you're comfortable, like I was saying, it took some time for me to get comfortable with my assignment. Like when you are hired at a job to do a particular assignment, no matter how big or small it is, if you're the CEO or the janitor, you get what I'm saying? You got to be comfortable in what you're doing. And when you are not defining, like I had to learn that if I have a dynamic show and only 10 people show up, that used to make me feel a certain type of way before. But it's like, look, if only 10 people show up to this dynamic show, those 10 people are going to go out and tell another 5 people. You get what I'm saying? So I think that you have to be comfortable in the gift that you have. Put it out there. I remember one time I was watching Ice Cube on Wendy Williams, and I really never watched Wendy Williams, but for whatever reason, I was watching her that day. And he said something that stuck with me. He said she must have asked him, do you think about, or do you care how many CDs or something you sell? He was like, nah, I don't never think about that. He said, I put it out there. Whoever want an Ice Cube record, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. That's my attitude. And I was like, you know what? I like that. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna put a Jesonda Productions out there, if you want it, you want it. You don't, you don't. I can't define my talent on how many people don't like it or do like it. So to answer your question, I think that once you get that in your head and stop thinking about the money and go after the passion, just do it. Just put it out there, you know, and build on that. That other stuff is going to come, and that's just going to be an addition to it. So once people get comfortable with that and stop thinking about the money, stop thinking about, you know, because people know when people are hungry and greedy for money. You get what I'm saying? So just do it with passion, and that money's going to come. The favor is going to come. The people are going to come. So just put it out there and don't worry about everything else.
Ooh, I feel like we've been ministered to today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. And I feel like it's prophetic word for us as this platform, because we are always looking, and this is why I don't care what people know about me or don't. I'm going to always claim Christianity and my faith, because my brothers and I were just talking about, you know, trying to do something that's going to be fresh, get a fresh start, you know, kind of just, you know, it's been 4 years. What we need to do to change it up, maybe take some new pictures, all this kind of stuff. Literally 2 days later, Amber blessed us with our new logo and blessed us with the logo. Did not say, hey, I do this. I was wondering if you guys might be interested, Then get with me. Here's some of my samples. She literally said, here, I'm blessing you guys with this because I like your show.
That's
and
awesome.
we saw it and was like, wait a minute, what? I got chills because we literally were having a meeting speaking about kind of refreshing, rebranding. And God blessed us with her, with this logo. So you tell me that having a path and walking a way that is pleasing to God, that he does not give you favor. And that's why we know we're supposed to be doing this right here, right now, because anybody else, we could do other stuff. We definitely can. But we're like, no, we have a way that we want to have our platform. And this is just confirmation.
It is. And when God does things like that for you, it's just like, man, you got me, man. And you know, and with you got me. That when God does stuff like that, when he brings people into your path just to bless you. I remember one time, let me tell you this real quick. I know we probably gonna have to go in a minute. Let me tell you something. There's a few of these stories I could tell. But I remember one time I was getting discouraged, you know, about some stuff, and I was like, oh, I done had enough of this. You know, I feel like I'm running around in circles. I said, the next time I do this play, somebody gonna have to give me such and such amount of dollars. And I named out a particular amount, right? About 2 years later, someone blessed me with that exact amount. And it came, and God brought it back to me. He said, you remember? And God would do those things to keep you going, because it's like he hears you. He feels you. Even if you don't say it out loud, he knows what you need for your assignment. So at first, the guy said he was going to give me a certain amount, but he broke it up in 2 payments. And the first payment was exactly the amount that I had said out of my mouth. I'm not doing this again until I get this much money. Wow. So, yeah. So God, I really truly believe that God allowed him to break those payments up because God was trying to show me something, you know? And so the same thing with your logo. He knew what you needed, and he gonna send people. And then some people probably gonna be like, why did I just do that? I don't know, but you done did it now. You know, can't take it back. So God uses people to bless us, and I just am grateful for that. And I'm grateful to hear that you got a new logo and God blessed you with one. That's awesome. So keep going. That means you got to keep going.
Speaking into existence.
Yes.
Oh, Amber said, God knows, I cannot wait to connect with Ylonda.
I can't
Hey,
wait.
I just sent you the info, Amber. So you two get together, make something amazing. Shoot, can't wait to see it.
Yes, absolutely. So, Miss Yolanda, what's new? Hey, Money, I'm sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. You
I was
good?
I was just asking, what's coming up? What do you want our viewers to know? Contact information, any new shows, any new productions, anything that you're going to be doing, or anyone that you would like for us to support that you're going to be doing. Go ahead and
Right.
run it down to us.
I'll run it down real quick. It is a few things. Well, tomorrow night we are doing the screening of the stage play Stuck at a movie theater. We're really excited about that. We were trying to just think COVID safe without, we can't do the live production now, but something where people can still enjoy and come out and engage and watch the play. We're going to have a small Q&A after that. A brief Q&A. I'm sorry, not small. I'm also working on a television pilot for one of the spinoffs of my character in Stuck. It's going to be funny. I let two people in the industry read the first episode and they were blown away. They were like, oh my God, there's nothing like this out there. So we actually have our first reading for that next week. Local actors. I love working with local actors. I love training them and coaching them if they have a drive and a passion to do what they want to do. And so, like I said, we are probably going to start our workshops and our classes. And we also have another play called Big Boys Do Cry that I wrote. We did it one time and then COVID shut it down. A lot of people have been asking for that. We don't have it on DVD, but my one of my goals for 2022 is to get that one on DVD because a lot of people have been asking for that one.
Ooh, I can't wait to see this stuff come to fruition.
I can't either.
Who you tell me? Oh. See, that's why I love our people. I love our people.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate that.
All right. So, as y'all know, getting close to that time, but I'm making sure that we put her contact information here at the bottom. Oh, Instagram. Do you have an Instagram that you wish to share with them as well? And how can they contact you? Is it just by means of the website, social media? What's your preference?
They can either one. They can go to the website. They can join our mailing list. There's a lot of people that are not on social media that are on our email list. They can also, if they're on Instagram, it's Jesonda Productions, the same name as the company, or my name, Ylonda PM, my last name, my last initials. And then on Facebook, it's Jesonda Productions. So it's pretty easy. Once you Google Jesonda Productions, you'll see us on the internet. You can just go on and follow our pages. And like I said, we also have our email blast. We have a newsletter that we put out. So, if you want to, the best way is the email because we put all our auditions, casting calls, workshops, and everything up there, and it will come directly to your inbox.
All right, so family, y'all heard it first right here. Man, this was amazing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling good. I mean,
Feeling all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, my heart is
warm and fuzzy. It's just
my heart is full right now.
Yeah, it's like I can go out and run. I ain't gonna run a marathon, but I can go out and do some serious work right now. I mean, it's encouraging to have someone such as Ylonda on here. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I really do. Y'all be encouraged. I want to tune into what you're doing, listen to what you're doing, and and be inspired even more by your podcast and your show. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun tonight.
That's great.
I have a request, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And it's not a big one, but I really think you need to have Adrian as a deacon in one of your productions. And then have Melissa.
Don't do that.
Have Melissa as the sister in church that always has something to question about. And her can go that if you do that.
You're wrong for
Don't
that.
give me no ideas now because I'll write a character in a minute.
I'm right here for you, sis. I'll shoot it your way. I'm gonna tell you.
I've done some local stuff because my cousin he does plays from Atlanta and Montgomery. So yeah, I've been on there doing some stuff, and We always call. What's his name? What's the deacon name again?
I'm trying to think of the name. What was the name? Deacon.
Called him Deacon
I,
Def Jam. That's
That's
what I called him.
Oh Lord.
Deacon Def Jam. That's it. Yeah. The voice. I'm telling you, that voice. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, you got two hits right there. I mean, it would
Deacon
blow up.
Def
That's
Jam.
too funny.
You're wrong for that, CD.
I'm
Well,
just
I
the voice, man. I'm telling you, if I had that voice, oh man, put Billy
I
Dee to
don't
shame.
know.
I'm telling you.
It's all right, Adrian. It's all out of love.
I don't have anything else to say.
Well, Amber said, "Great show, wonderful things will come of this. So encouraging." See.
Amen.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, Amber.
Well, family, once again, we thank y'all for joining us on At the Roundtable podcast show. If you get a chance, definitely follow Ylonda on the different sources we have running here. We'll have this show up and running as well on our YouTube channel. We'll also have it on our Facebook page. You'll be able to go back and watch it and share the show. Share the show because there are some nuggets in this show that if you watch it, you will be encouraged. And who knows? Who's to say that your little one may be watching over your shoulder and be inspired to follow in the footsteps of what Ylonda is doing, what we're doing, or their own path that God has for them? Share the show. You just don't know. All right, y'all. Any closing remarks or anything?
Our guest, Miss Ylonda.
I just want to say, I want to just, if you have a dream or an idea or anything, just go for it. You know, life is short. You know what I mean? God, just trust God. Don't listen to the naysayers. You know what I mean? Don't even listen to your own thoughts that tell you that you can't do it. Crush that. Kill those noises in your head and go for it. And let me tell you, if I had more time, I would tell you how I started. I was scary. But I see one thing happen after I took one little step and I saw that something happened and I was like, okay, I could take another little step. And by the time I knew it, I was like, wow, blown away. God blew my mind with my first show, very first show. So just go ahead and whatever ideas you have, go ahead and pursue them. Do it. Now is the time.
That's right.
That's it.
That
Woo.
is it.
You talking to me? No.
Yes.
You talking to me? No.
Yeah. Like when you're in church and stuff and pastor be preaching and all of a sudden you like,
Or something like this. Ouch, ouch. You step on my toes. Ouch. You step on my toes. Ouch. Ouch.
I've been there. Trust me. I'm like, was they in my conversation last night? Was he in my room, in my closet?
That's my pinky toe. Get off. Stop.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, family, thank y'all once again. Again, join us next week if you get a chance to share the show. And it's the positive side of media. It's the People's Podcast. We love y'all.